All right, we're getting to learn that the last rites of the girl from Kallakurichi, that very unfortunate demise of that schoolgirl, those are being conducted right now, and those are the live visuals on your screen. Now, the court has directed that only locals can be present at the last rites because there was widespread agitation around this particular demise, and it was about a week ago when this schoolgirl, this 12th standard schoolgirl, was found dead at the premises of her school. Her mother says that initially she received a call that the girl was feeling unwell, and then later found out that her daughter was no more. The authorities and school authorities and investigating authorities say that the girl had jumped to her death, but the family's objection is that there was no blood found at the site where she had fallen. The injuries were both internal and external. Now, after the post-mortem report, it was said that these injuries were inflicted after the death of the girl. This provoked further questions and has angered the entire community, and there's been widespread agitation. There's been violence as well over the last few days, and there's been arson in the area, and the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had in fact appealed for peace. Now, there were 2 autopsies conducted of the girl. The family was still not satisfied. They wanted a forensic expert of their choice to be appointed and approached the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court further directed them to the High Court, where the High Court dismissed that petition, but did appoint a panel of JIPMER doctors who will be going through those post-mortem reports and after that give their verdict on this case. But the court has directed that the last rites should take place today. So the very reluctant family there conducting the last rites of their daughter, and a very big outpouring of grief from the entire community. Already unfortunate that it's a loss of such a young girl, but especially the fact that the circumstances around it are so mysterious, and also their demand that their own doctor be appointed was also not heeded to, has distressed the family greatly. The Madras High Court has in fact rapped the girl's father for him saying that this investigation was conducted in a shabby manner. The court directed the family to collect the mortal remains of the girl by 11 a.m. today, which is what the family did. They collected it at about 8 a.m. and those last rites are currently underway at Kallakurichi. And as you can see, the turnout is... Now we're joined by our correspondent Mugilan on the phone line. Mugilan, those last rites right now on the screen, very distressing and upsetting indeed that this is a family that has already undergone the loss of their child. But on top of that, they are very dissatisfied with the investigation as well, but are conducting the last rites because they've been directed to by the Madras High Court.
Definitely, yes. We have seen that the family have raised several apprehensions over the death of their daughter, and then we saw the parents approaching the Madras High Court and the Supreme Court. Then we saw the Madras High Court even coming forward and forming an expert committee under their watch, and they performed the re-postmortem. But the family insisted that there should be a doctor of their choice to conduct the re-postmortem. Then we saw the petition moving to Supreme Court, then once again coming back to the Madras High Court. But Madras High Court categorically made it clear that the re-postmortem is over, and the report also has been prepared, and we also know the entire procedure was videographed. So yesterday, once again, when the family members made an appeal before the Madras High Court, the Madras High Court have formed another committee in JIPMER Hospital. So this committee now will be going through the post-mortem report, and they will go through the videograph content also, that is the videograph of the post-mortem, and then they will be submitting a report before the Madras High Court. So with this being the position, now the Madras High Court have asked the family members to collect the body and cremate it, and based on that direction, today morning we saw around 7 o'clock the family members went to the Kallakurichi hospital and received the body, and it took more than 1 hour for the family members to reach their residence. And from there on, the last rites are started, the rituals started, and now we are saying the body being carried out and brought to the burial ground. And you can see in the visuals also the last rites are being conducted, and now the body will be laid to rest. And you can see the kind of crowd in that burial ground area. Since 7 o'clock in the morning, we have seen the locals have gathered in large number to pay their last respect, and more than 1,500 police personnel have been deployed for security reasons. Yesterday, we saw the Kallakurichi police making an announcement stating that only the locals will be allowed to participate in the last race. The outsiders will not be allowed, and the security arrangements also were made in that manner, because all the entry to that particular area of the victims' residence were completely blocked, and they were manned by the Kallakurichi police, and only the locals, that too after verification, they were allowed inside to enter into that particular area. So amidst very strong police bandobast and protection, now we are seeing the locals of that particular area paying their last respect, and the body is being made to lay rest.
Well, yes, indeed. The body been collected from Kallakurichi and taken to Periyanasellur, the village in Kadalur, which is where the girl is from, and those last rites are being conducted right there. And as you're telling us, the court had directed that only locals can attend the funeral, because we know that hundreds had come out on the streets to protest. In fact, thousands had come out to protest against what they consider to be foul play involved in the demise of this young girl, and also a lot of outrage on social media as well. People are demanding justice for this young girl. We're also joined by my colleague Purnima Murli. Purnima, a lot of people demanding for justice in this case on social media as well, and we saw them come out onto the streets. The last rites, of course, but being contained to just a few close family members and locals.
Absolutely. Many, apart from the family, also demanded justice. We saw how peaceful protests last Sunday had turned violent when huge numbers gathered trying to push through the barricades to enter the school, demanding justice, because the girl in her suicide note had mentioned two teachers who are responsible for her death, and that was the maths and the chemistry teacher. However, what they were not happy with was the fact that the school did not tell them the truth. They just informed the parents that the girl was injured and was taken to a hospital when she was already dead. And the autopsy report also raised suspicion, and families said that the timing of the death is also something that is not true, and that's why they demanded another postmortem to be conducted. However, they wanted doctors of their choice to perform. That did not happen. Their legal routes before the Apex Court, the Madras High Court, even those failed, and that's why the Madras High Court yesterday said that they should collect their daughter's body and cremate by today, failing which action will be taken. And as you can see the visuals on our screen, the last rites are finally performed, even as the family still hopes that justice prevails, and they're not happy with the way things panned out. They had no choice but to cremate their daughter, and that's the visuals that you can see, that the family continues to hope for justice, and right now they are just hoping that some truth comes out, because they still claim that there's foul play, and they're not happy with the two postmortem reports.
Well, yes, indeed. That entire community are feeling very broken after what has taken place in Kallakurichi. The residents had also raided the private school's premises, and they had stolen a lot of items from there, such as desks and benches, water purifiers, and also one resident returned 14 pairs of gold earrings that he had come across in the premises of this private school.